Hey, beautiful people. What is up? This is your girl, Gabby, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today, one is game day, and my Cincinnati Bengals are currently playing. We're up 22-0, so I feel comfortable going ahead and making dinner. And two, today is Christmas Eve, so we're going to go ahead and put together a delicious dinner for my husband and I to have later tonight. So today we're going to be making shredded beef enchiladas with a chili sauce. So to get started, I have my Dutch oven here. We're gonna turn this bad boy on medium-high heat. The beef that we're going to be using is going to be a chuck roast. So I have a 2-pound chuck roast that is on the back counter back here, already ready to go. It's been dried, wiped off, all of that. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make a really good, delicious dinner. Later tonight, my husband wants to make cookies, so we're also going to be making that. Hopefully I'll have an opportunity to film that for you guys. But let's go ahead and get started with our beef. We're preparing our beef. I have some vegetable oil going into my Dutch oven. And once that gets hot, we're gonna go and put our chuck roast in here. And we're going to let it sear on all sides for about 10 to 12 minutes. The full recipe will be linked down below for you guys so you can view that. So let's go ahead and get cooking. All right guys, so our onions are in and they're caramelizing pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and drop some garlic into our pot as well. Just gonna add a little extra garlic than what's recommended. And we're just gonna go ahead and let that cook down for about 30 seconds or so. And then we're going to stir this up. Add some tomato paste and then our stock and the rest of the recipe ingredients that we need. This is pretty hot, which is making me nervous. Even though I've turned the heat down, it's rolling hot. So, all right, that's pretty good there. Let's go ahead and add some tomato paste. About a tablespoon of tomato paste is going in. Mix that up, and then we're going to add some beef stock. Looking good, looking good. Nothing's burning so far, which is good. All right, so now we're gonna go in and add a cup of beef broth or beef stock, whatever you have on hand. Perfect. We're gonna give this a good mix so we can deglaze the pan as much as we can. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my oven on to 350. All right, I'm gonna increase my heat, and then we're gonna go ahead and add some seasonings to this. So we're going to add a tablespoon of cumin. This is a half teaspoon measure, so I'm gonna do this twice. So we're gonna add some vinegar, a tablespoon of vinegar goes in. That's that. And then we're gonna need some ground chili powder. However, I don't have that. Excuse me, ground chipotle powder. I don't have that. But what I do have is this chipotle sauce. I don't know if you guys can see that. I do have this chipotle sauce. So what I'm gonna do is just add some chipotle sauce to this. It's probably gonna kick it up a notch. And I'll use the rest of that for our sauce. And it does ask for some chili powder, but since I added that chipotle sauce, I'm just gonna add a little bit of chili powder to that. And then let's see, we need to add some green chilies. So I have a can of green chilies, and then we need to add some salt, a half a teaspoon of salt to this. Let me go ahead and add that. And then let me open my green chilies. So these are the green chilies. These are the green chilies that I'll be using. The whole 4 ounces. Let me mix this up first. I don't feel like this is a lot of liquid, but we're gonna go with it. Okay, our green chilies go in. We're gonna stir this up. It smells really, really good. Now that all of that is in there and well combined, we're gonna add our beef back to the pan, what the recipe said, and we're gonna bring this to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, we're going to reduce to simmer, and then we're going to put it in the oven. So let me get this to a rolling boil, and then we'll continue baking this up. All right, guys, this is now to a boil. I'm gonna turn the heat down to, it says low to simmer. We're going to put the lid back on this. Actually, I'm just gonna turn it off. And to put the lid on this, once our oven is preheated, we're gonna bake this 350 for about 3.5 hours, and then we'll come back and make our sauce. All right, guys, so my roast has, not my roast, yeah, the beef has been in the oven now for an hour and a half. And so this is what it's looking like now. There's really not a lot of liquid in there, because it only called for a cup of chicken broth, and I was hoping that this beef would make a little bit more liquid, but we're good. I'm not gonna add any more to it just because it looks pretty good. All right, so we still have an hour and a half to go. And because I set my timer for 3 hours, so the last 30 minutes I'll let it go, but I'll be making the sauce, so. All right, guys, so here is our roast. Like I had thought, that 1 cup of beef broth is just not enough, and I still, according to my timer, I still have about an hour to go. So what I'm going to do is add some more beef broth to this and let it cook. I still have about, like I said, an hour left to go, but I started picking at this meat already. And it's looking like it's gonna be done sooner than a total of 3 hours. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, it's looking pretty done. And I don't wanna undercook it for sure, but I definitely don't wanna overcook it because it has to cook some more in the tortilla shell. So we're gonna get this back in the oven. While this is going in the oven, we're gonna start making our enchilada sauce. And then once that's done, then we'll pull this back out. So that should only take us about 15-20 minutes, so. All right, guys, so our onions are in. Our garlic is also in. So we're gonna let that go. In the meantime, I'm gonna work on opening up our tomato paste. All right, guys, now we're going to add in our tomato paste. All the tomato paste that I have are in these tubes. So I have 2 tubes, and we need about 4 ounces. Unfortunately, I know for sure this is what I have is not 4 ounces. So we just have to use what we have because I forgot to actually purchase more tomato paste. Just gonna use this. Burn. Add some more tomato paste. There we go. All we got. So, all right. So our our tomato paste is in. So I gotta let that go for a minute. The recipe calls for 2 cups of chicken broth. It's just weird that I was using chicken broth because we just use beef broth for the actual beef, but whatever. So we're gonna add in 2 cups of our chicken broth. And again, this is to make our enchilada sauce. Two cups go in. And then to this, we're gonna go ahead and add our seasonings after we give this a good whisk. Alrighty. So we need 1.5 teaspoons of our chili powder. It's a 1/2 teaspoon measure that I'm using. So we're gonna do this 3 times. Okay. And then it says 1/8 teaspoon of chili powder, but this recipe also calls for ancho chili peppers, and I don't have that. So I'm gonna use this chipotle sauce. I'm gonna use a good bit of it. You know, since I have it, why not use as much as I can? We put that in there. Tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. How about this? A 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. And then we also need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. All right, we go ahead and mix this in, and we're gonna bring this to a boil. So I just increase my heat a little bit and bring this to a boil. I hope this thickens up. I don't have too much faith that it is gonna thicken up. So we'll bring this to a boil and see what happens with that. All right, guys, so our enchilada sauce is still simmering. And I was actually just thinking that enchilada sauce is actually this runny. I don't know why I thought it should have been thicker than what it is, but it is actually simmering up pretty good for us. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make our side dish to go with our enchiladas. And this side dish we're going to prepare right over here on the other side of my counter. Let me zoom you guys out. And then let me tell you what this is. So this side dish is a jalapeno cheddar, a jalapeno garlic cheddar fritter with a chipotle aioli. So this should be really, really good. So let's go ahead and get this started. Never made this recipe before, so we're hoping it's really good. And if I haven't mentioned this, well, we'll get to that later, but let's go ahead and make this. So to start off with, we need some flour, And this is the flour that I am going to be using, the Bob Redmond Mill gluten-free 1-to-1 baking flour. So I was gonna mention this earlier, just a second ago, but this meal is going to be a gluten-free meal. Our gluten-free pizza came out amazing yesterday, so we're going to make this meal gluten-free as well. So let me do 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And what I'm going to do to this is also, since we are gonna make it gluten-free, I'm going to add, I have a little bit of flour in this bag from yesterday, so I'm gonna add this too. I'm also going to add just a little bit of xanthan gum. I'm gonna go ahead and put in 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum into this. And then we're also going to put in, 2 teaspoons of tapioca starch, just to make sure we get a really good bready consistency with these. Something new, never tried this before, but we're gonna see how it goes. All right, so that's that. Into this, we're going to add some baking powder. Add some baking powder in here, just a teaspoon. Then we're going to add, make sure, we're going to add our cheddar cheese and our garlic. 1/4 cup of cheddar cheese is here. To add that in. Actually, let me mix. Probably should have mixed my dry ingredients a little bit. Anyway, add our cheddar cheese in. And this recipe calls for 2 cloves of grated garlic. Put the garlic in my garlic press. This is a big piece of garlic. And you're just going to squeeze it if possible. Here we go. Oh man, that was a big one. Alright, that was a big piece of garlic. Oh, and then we're gonna need a pinch of salt. All right, let's mix this up. I may add a little bit more cheese. I don't know, I just feel like 1/4 cup isn't a lot. We'll follow the recipe. All right, into this we're going to add in 1/2 cup of milk, and then we're going to beat in 1 egg. Okay, that is nice and combined. Awesome. Into this, we're going to add in a jalapeno. I have chopped this jalapeno up and I have de-seeded it as well. So I'm going to put in about 3/4 of that jalapeno. I'm not going to do the whole thing just yet. And it also calls for some chives, but I don't have chives. I thought I did. So this is going to be a Green Goddess seasoning blend that I'm going to use. And the only thing that's in it is basically salt, onions, garlic, pepper, chives, and spinach powder, and a little bit of lemon powder as well. So I think it'll be a good addition. Since I don't have chives, let's just not omit it, but let's just add to that. And then also what I need to add to this is the star of the recipe, which is going to be approximately 2 cups of corn. So let me grab that. I believe this is, all right, it's pretty frozen corn, but it's okay. If I need to add a little bit more flour to soak up some of the moisture from the corn, I will. Luckily, I'm not frying these right at this moment. So by the time this continues to sit, all of the frozenness should have, the corn should have thawed essentially. All right, there we go. The only thing we're gonna do is pop these in some oil, and they should give us some fritter bites. There we go. Quick and easy. All right, let's get back to our enchilada sauce. So now that I see this jalapeno, I have it. I might as well use it, right? I don't want to waste it, so I might as well just put it in here. There we go. All right, let me get this covered. Sit it to the side until we're ready to use it. All right, so our beef has come out. And so what I'm gonna do is just take a fork and shred this up. I kept my beef in there for the full 3 hours. And it looks amazing. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see that. It looks so good. But I will say that some of the, like the onions that I had in there had, anyway, the liquid had almost completely evaporated. So while I added a little bit, and you guys see me add a little bit more beef broth, I should have added a little bit more. So I definitely don't think 1 cup is enough at all. I do think realistically 2.5 cups is needed. But I guess it depends on your oven too. Just gonna shred this up. This looks amazing, y'all. The recipe says that it makes 8 enchiladas. Really hoping I get 10 because I have 10 gluten-free wraps that were not cheap. So I really want to be able to use all of those. But if I don't use all of them, that's okay too, because I can find another meal for me to utilize them. All right, this is our beef all shredded up pretty nicely. Let's try a piece of it. Yeah, that's good. I was just sitting here talking away and you guys were not on the camera, but all I was saying is, you see this part over here? This is where it had gotten overcooked and it actually just burned in the pan with the onions, the fat, everything, it just burned. And so I was able just to save a little bit of the drippings from the beef. And when I reread the recipe, it did say to put the beef back into the liquid, but I can't do that. So put it in this bowl, what I can salvage. And then I'm going to put the beef, my hands are clean, put the beef in here. Hopefully this bowl is big enough, and this meat is hot. Hot, hot, hot. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put some more beef broth in here. And that should be good to help rehydrate it and get those flavors back as well. So not all is lost. Sometimes you just have to improvise in the kitchen. Ooh, y'all, this looks so good. All right, let me get some beef broth. Just gonna put no recipe to it, no science to it. We're just trying to rehydrate this meat. Get all of those drippings from the bottom. Distribute it evenly. Oh, great job, Gabby. Great job. Just want to look at the bottom. Good. I'm gonna add just a little bit more liquid to it. Give it a taste test. Oh, it's so good. This is so good, y'all. So good. All right. Now, let me go get my cast iron ready, get my tortillas, check on my sauce, and we'll be good to go. All right, guys, so I pretty much got everything here that we need. I actually just remember that we need to go ahead and shred some cheese. So cutting board is already dirty, so it is what it is. So this is the branded cheese that we're going to be using. I think it's pronounced Oaxaca cheese. This is what it calls for. This is a 12-ounce bundle, or a 12-ounce block of cheese. It calls for 8 ounces for the recipe. We're likely going to use all 12. Let's be real here. But before I do that, let's go ahead and wrap our fajitas. Oh, you know what? I didn't finish the sauce, guys. Hold on. All right, so here is the sauce that we have cooked down. The only thing additional that it said do was to add 1/4 of a cup of water and then to also blend it in a blender. But since I didn't use the actual full ancho pepper, I actually used just a chili sauce or chipotle sauce. I'm not gonna blend it, I'm just gonna add the water. All right, there we go. I added the water to it and we should be good to go. All right, whew. Thank goodness. I think I need to add, let me get my recipe really quickly. Here's our prepared dish. What I'm going to do is spoon some of our enchilada sauce in the bottom. And spread it around. I probably honestly didn't need that water, but hopefully it cooks down. I know we're just following the recipe as it's designed. All right. These are the tortillas that we're going to be using. I got these from Publix. Just gonna try to make sure we fill them up nicely. This is 6 tortillas. Oh, I thought there were 5 per pack. This is 6. So I'm gonna try to lay them out first to make sure I just get an even amount per tortilla. All right, hopefully you guys can see this. I apologize if it's just whitewashing it. And we're gonna put some of our beef per tortilla. So now that I know that I have a total of 12, I'm definitely not looking to get 12. And I probably shouldn't even look to get more than 8 because I want them to be meaty and full. So, yeah. I'm gonna tightly roll them. So, that's all I'm gonna do. Just tightly roll, roll, roll. And then we're gonna place in our pan seam side down. And by the way, this enchilada sauce is so good. I think I want the ends to be tucked in though, right? Yeah, I think I want them like this. I wish I can take those other 2 out because I actually rather have them rolled like this. Like a burrito, I think. Squeeze in 2 more, at least 2 more. I think I have enough meat for 3. I don't have enough space for 3, so I'm just gonna pile these up. Perfect. Place that there. Oh man. Here we go now. Perfect. There we go. We got 8 all different shapes and sizes, but we got 8 there. So let's see what we gotta do next. All right, probably did not need to add that water, but I followed the recipe. So we're gonna add the enchilada sauce. She said to add as little or as much as you want. She didn't use all of hers, but homegirl, we already made this sauce, so I'm not gonna waste it. So I'm gonna use it all. And then we're gonna shred this. We need at least 8 ounces, but I'm really shooting for the whole 12. All right guys, here's our enchiladas. Did the best that I could with the cheese, and now this is gonna go in the oven and cook for about 15 to 20 minutes until the cheese is nice and melted and bubbly, and then we'll be able to enjoy it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start with our corn fritter. I'm gonna turn the grease down some because it's very hot. As you can see, it's popping. We have beans in the back, corn fritters going in. And they cook for roughly 4 to 5 minutes. So I'll just have to keep an eye on them and start turning them. All right guys, wow, this is coming to an end of our Christmas Eve dinner that we're having. These enchiladas look amazing. I'm gonna show you guys really quickly up close what they look like, but just to give you guys a rundown of the menu. So over here, we just have some normal Mexican style rice. We have our jalapeno cheddar fritters, corn fritters here. Our beautiful enchiladas came out lovely. We have some cilantro lime rice here. And then I also made a chipotle aioli right here, just a dipping sauce for our fritters. That is also a part of the same recipe. So I'm gonna get my plate right and I'm gonna show you guys in just a second. Alright guys, so this is our Christmas Eve feast. I hope you guys peep the pajamas with their matching socks. This is Black Santa from Old Navy. But yeah, we're about to enjoy our delicious meal for Christmas Eve. And I hope you guys are having an amazing day and amazing holiday. And I'll see you guys on the next video.